right, today we are going to be going over two-step equations. So the learning target, I can solve two-step linear equations in one variable. Guys, the idea, you're going to see that word linear a lot. Linear just means that when you graph it, it's going to go in a straight line. Okay, so think line linear. Yes, dear? Okay, just keep trying to look for them. Okay, pencils are over there. So the things that you need to have an understanding, remember back in our expressions unit, we talked about coefficient and constant. Who can raise your hand and tell me which value up here, ignoring this part, if we're just looking at the expression 2x minus 11, which one of those is our coefficient? Which one of those values is the coefficient? Nihat? The 2. Okay, so I want you guys to put a box around the 2. Just the 2, remember, not around the x. The x is the variable. We're putting it around the 2, and just right above it, you're going to write that this is your coefficient. Okay, so those terms are not going away. Remember, we're using expressions inside of our equations unit as well. Okay, and then our constant. What value is our constant going to be? Jacqueline? What? 11. What are you missing? Negative 11. Okay, so this negative 11, so I'm going to put a box around the negative and the 11, and inside my box I'm going to go ahead and write down that this is my constant. Okay, so you need to understand the difference between your coefficient and your constant, because when we are solving two-step equations, that means we have two operations that we are going to be performing. Two operations that we're going to be performing. The first operation that you're going to always perform is whatever the inverse to the constant is going to be. When we are talking about doing our inverse to our constant, we're looking at basically addition or subtraction. So for step 1, you're always going to do your inverse operation of the constant by either adding or subtracting. That's always what you're going to do. So when we are in two-step equation format, we are always going to use either addition or subtraction first to be able to undo the process. So that's why I said it's really important to understand what inverse operations are, because you need to know the proper order of solving. So when we're looking at 2x minus 11 is equal to 5, we already identified that minus 11 was our constant. So instead of minus 11, we're going to do the inverse. What's the inverse of minus 11? Noah? Addition. So instead of subtracting 11, we're going to add 11. And remember, we do it to both sides. What's wrong? Oh, that's a bummer. That's a bummer. I know, that's very kind of you trying to help her. Okay. All right, so here, instead of just adding 11 to one side, remember we said it's key. You have to add it to both sides. Make sure you are writing these down. You want to have thorough notes. No more food. Okay? Food's away. So instead of just adding 11 on this side, remember yesterday I told you we're going to box it and cross it? So we're boxing out the information that now is no longer there. Because what is the goal? The goal is to get x all by itself. Right now x has two friends with it. It has a multiplication of 2 and it has a subtraction of 11. We don't want those there anymore. We just want x all by itself. So in order to get x by itself, you've got to do your opposite operations, your inverse operations. So we are adding 11 to both sides. We can cross the 11s out because they're technically zero pairs, right? A negative 11 and a positive 11, those are zero pairs. So we can box them off and get rid of them. That's going to leave us with 2x still on this side, on the left side. And it's now going to be equal to what? What is 5 plus 11 going to give us? 16. So we now have the equation 2x is equal to 16. That's where we go to our next step. Okay, our next step says once you are done with your addition and subtraction, you're now going to move to doing your inverse operation to the coefficient or divisor. Okay, that's the number that is physically attached. Okay, look at that word. It's attached to the variable. And the only way that you can undo that is by multiplying or dividing. Okay, so we're looking here. It's 2x is equal to 6. So I see multiplication. So what should I do? Divide. And so we're going to divide. Now, guys, remember a fraction bar means division. Jaden, a fraction bar means division. So what are we dividing both sides by? Coven? 2. Because again, we want to get x all by itself. So now I can box it and I can cross it. Those 2's are now gone. But I have to do it to this side. 16 divided by 2 is going to be 8. So we get x is equal to 8. And guys, a really great thing, if you're not sure whether you got it correct or not, you can take that value of 8. Remember in our last unit, we did some evaluations where we substituted our variables with a number. You could take that number and plug it back into the original. You could do 2 times 8 minus 11. And if it gives you 5 as your answer, you know you got it right. That's the wonderful thing about the equations unit. Okay, you can check your answers by taking what answer you got and put it back into the problem and see if it gives you the same thing. Okay, 2 times 8 is 16, and 16 minus 11 does give us 5. So we know we did it correct. So let's take a look. We're going to do a couple more together. So again, the first step, when I've got 2x plus 3 is equal to 23. The first step that I want to do, I want to get rid of the constant. The first step is to get rid of that constant. What number up here is my constant? Caden? 3. Positive 3, right? I want to put it around the positive sign as well. So I'm going to put a box around it so that I know that's the value that I want to get rid of first. And the only way that I can do it is to do the opposite. So Paris, we have a plus 3. What's the opposite? Or minus 3, right? I don't want you saying negative anymore. I want you to just say, oh, we're subtracting a 3. Because there's going to be times, right? Addison knows this too. There's going to be times where it says, hey, we're subtracting a negative number. So the inverse is to add that negative number. The sign of the number doesn't change. The operation does. Okay? Yes. I'm going to send you in the class, okay? Okay. So instead of adding 3, we're going to subtract 3. So I'm going to subtract 3 here. I'm going to box it and cross it. Everybody box it and cross it. And then we're going to subtract 3 from the other side as well. Because we have to do it on both sides. You need to make sure you remember both sides every time. Jaden, did you write this down? We're doing it to both sides every time. Okay, so I'm going to have my equal sign here. What's going to be on this side? What do I still have remaining on this side of my equation? 2x, right? 2x is still there. We didn't cross 2x off. 2x is still there, so we're going to put 2x. And what does the right side now become? 20, right? Because we did 23 minus 3, that's going to become 20. Is x by itself? No, x still has a friend. X still has something happening to it. So we now need to go ahead and undo that. So we want to get rid of this 2 now. How am I going to get rid of this 2? Divide, not minus, because we're not doing 2 plus x, right? We're doing 2 times x. So the inverse operation is to divide. Okay, we're going to divide by 2. So we're going to divide this side by 2 as well. I can box it and cross it. The 2's are gone. X is by itself. And what is 20 divided by 2? 10. Okay, and again, you can substitute 10 back in. You could go, oh, here, and I'll even show you. You can do 2 times 10 plus 3. 2 times 10 plus 3 is going to equal 23. And that's what we wanted. We want 23. Okay, so x is equal to 10. Okay, let's take a look at problem number 2. And we're just going to do a lot of practice today. I don't want you guys having any homework today. You're done with assignments for today. So we're just going to practice, and then Monday we'll actually do some independent practice. Okay, what's the first value up here that I need to box? Addison? No, don't. Try it. Positive 5. Remember, we're going with the constant. We're going with the constant, so we're going to box positive 5. We're going to box up positive 5. Okay, Jalen, what is the opposite operation that we're going to do then? Subtraction. So we're going to subtract 5. We're going to subtract 5 from 5. That lets us box it and cross it. And we're going to subtract 5 away from negative 2. Good. Okay, so now I'm going to rewrite my equal sign. Caden, what's still here? What's still on my left side? What am I going to bring down? X over 2. Yeah, or divided by 2. Very good. I like that he said that. X over 2 means X divided by 2. Okay, remember that operation. Okay, what about on my right side? What is my right side now, Coven? Is he right? What's wrong? Negative 7. Don't forget your sign. Don't forget your sign. Okay, so we get negative 2 minus 5. That's negative 7. Okay. Next step. What's the next thing that I'm going to have to do here? What do you think, Jaden? If we have x divided by 2, what do we need to do instead? What's the opposite of multiplying? Not subtraction. Well, yeah, so the opposite of multiplying is dividing. So opposite of dividing is multiplying. So instead of dividing, we're going to multiply. We're going to multiply by 2. So I can box them and cross them. And then we're going to multiply by 2 here. Okay, x is now by itself. X is now going to be all by itself. And what is negative 7 times 2? Negative 14. Okay, make sure you got those written down, and then let's flip it on over to the next page. I think we'll do 2 more together. And I'm actually going to choose the 2 that we're going to do together because there's a couple of them I want to kind of go over. So we're going to skip number 3 and number 4. I want to go to number 5 right now. I want to go to problem number 5. So for problem number 5, the first thing that I'm going to do, number 5 looks different, right? Number 5 looks different than number 3. It looks different than number 4. It looks different than number 6. It kind of looks different than number 7 as well. What's different about number 5? What do you notice that number 5 is different from the rest of the problems, Paris? The equation's flipped, right? Instead of having the variable stuff on the left side, see, number 3's got the variable on the left side. Number 4's got it on the left side. Number 6 has got the variable on the left side of that equal sign. Can you stop making noises? Okay, number 7 even has the variable on the left side. But number 5 has the variable on the right side of the equation. So what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and do a rewrite. Okay, I'm going to rewrite it. So So I'm going to still have my equal sign, but I'm going to put this information, this 5 minus 3y, I'm going to put it on the left side. 5 minus 3y. And then on the right side, I'm just going to put my 20. Nothing changed. Okay, I didn't flip any signs. I didn't change any operations. All I did is I took the two sides and I swapped them. That's all I did. Okay, now this is a really important thing to be able to do, because when we get into inequalities, we're going to be doing a lot of swapping. Okay, it says 5 minus 3y right here.
Oh, I forgot the 1 is multiplied.
Okay, so it's the same information. Instead of saying 20 equals 5 minus 3y, we're saying 5 minus 3y equals 20. Okay, all we did was just flip the two sides. We didn't change anything else. Now we're going to go about solving it. So which one of those numbers up here is my constant? Which one is my constant? Brianna, which one of these is my constant? The 5. So that means I have to get rid of the 5 first. Now naturally, I think you guys are going to see subtraction and you're automatically going to say, I'm going to add. Right? But let me ask you, what is 5 plus 5? 10. So did we get to box it and cross it then? Did it go away? No. It just became another number. So what's the invisible value that's in front of that 5? The invisible sign. A plus sign, right? There's an invisible plus sign that's in front of that 5. That minus sign belongs to what number? The 3. That minus sign belongs to the 3. Okay, be very mindful of this. Listen very closely, because these are the kinds of questions that the county likes to put on their exams. That plus sign is invisible. The only way we can get rid of that 5 is to subtract 5. So we can box and cross the 5s off, and what comes down is not just 3y, but that negative sign. That minus sign comes down and now acts like a negative sign. Kamari, you're doing a really great job of showing me that you don't care. Okay? Does everybody understand? We are not going to subtract a 5 even though we see a subtraction sign, because that subtraction sign does not belong to the 5. We are not subtracting 5. It does not say minus 5. Okay? That 5 is positive, and the only way we can get rid of that positive 5 is to subtract 5 from it. So then we subtract 5 from the other side. That minus sign that was there now comes down and acts like it's a negative 3y. Okay, now this is still multiplication, right? We're not multiplying by a positive 3 though, we're multiplying by a negative 3. Okay, and this is going to be equal to 15 here. So negative 3y is equal to 15. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide both sides by negative 3, and it has to be by the negative because we want to get rid of the negative sign and the 3. And we're dividing this side by negative 3, and y will equal negative 5. So again, you're just focusing on doing your inverse to your constant. Inverse to the constant is always either addition or subtraction. Then you do the inverse to the number that is physically attached to the variable. You're either going to multiply or divide. Everybody clear? Okay, I want you to try the remaining problems on just this page. Don't flip to the next one. I just want you to do problems 3, 4, and oh dear God, 6, and that other one. I'm not calling it. All right, first thing that we're going to do, we're going to get rid of this 15. The only way we can get rid of it is by adding 15 to both sides. We're going to add 15 to both sides. The 15s are now going to get crossed off. We boxed and crossed. That 2n is what's coming down, and it's now equal to a negative 14. A negative 14, right? Negative 29 plus 15 is negative 14. To get n by itself, we're now going to divide both sides by that 2. And we'll get n is equal to negative 7. Not positive 7, negative 7. Okay, good. I'm glad you changed it. Okay, problem number 4. Problem number 4, again, this 8 is what we have to get rid of first. That is our constant. There is an invisible plus sign in front of that 8, which means our inverse operation is to subtract. We're going to subtract the 8 from both sides. So those 8s will get canceled out. We are left with a positive, right? A positive x over 4. So I can put x over 4 here. And then 17 minus the 8 is going to be 9. Okay? X over 4 is division, right? This says x divided by 4, so the inverse is to multiply. We're going to multiply both sides by 4, so the 4's get crossed off, and we'll have x is now equal to 36. Okay? All right, for number 6, problem number 6, zoom out. Okay, for problem number 6, we need to get rid of the negative 2 first. That negative 2, it's now going to be like, oh, well, that's a minus sign that's in front of it, so the inverse is to add it. So we're going to add 2. That minus sign, or that negative sign in front of the 2, acts like a minus in front of the 2. So we would add 2 to both sides. The 2's are going to get boxed and crossed. We're left with a positive 4h, a positive 4h, and the negative 6 plus 2 is negative 4. And our last step is to divide both sides by positive 4, and we'll get h is equal to negative 1. So you should have gotten negative 1 for problem number 6. Okay? And then our last one, we have 5 minus 7x is equal to 19. We want to get rid of the 5 first. There's no operation in front of it, so what do we put? A plus sign in front of it. So what does that mean we're going to do? Minus. We're going to subtract 5 from both sides. When we bring this down, that minus sign that says minus 7x now comes down like negative 7x. And 19 minus 5 is going to equal 14. Our last step is to divide both sides. We're going to divide both sides by negative 7. Right? We don't want to just get rid of the number. We want to get rid of that negative sign too. Those negative signs can get crossed off, and the 7's can get crossed off. We'll get x is equal to negative 2. X is equal to negative 2. Okay, we're going to pack up and head to homeroom right now.